Welcome to Vertical Football, and this is the 5 things we learned here. This is Chelsea versus Arsenal. Arsenal to Chelsea won. I'm not happy. I felt like we could have done better. In all honesty, yeah, we could have done better. I think we are getting caught up in that mindset of it's difficult to beat Arsenal. Yeah, so it's difficult to beat Arsenal. So every time we come into the game, you can see it in the body language. We show up, we tend to like grow out of that feeling, but it's just the baseline feeling. Like, when something has started getting into your mind and you start believing the reality of it, that it's kind of almost impossible to beat these people. I think it showed up very much in the first half. You see how our guys were panicking. You see the lot of errors. You see a whole lot of mistake, a whole lot of misplaced passes, not being able to go into the game full offensive. I know that's not the way to go about it. You don't necessarily want to go fully offensive because this guy can hurt you when you go out and keep too much of space behind. But at the same time, you look at the way we were approaching our attack, like you can sense it in the way it is going, that there is so much defensive mindset even when we are attacking. Like, it. The best way to say it is we were trying to play. We were not actually playing. Like, that moment where it's just like an artist, somebody that is painting. When you get to a point where you are trying to paint, you are it's kind of like a struggle to paint instead of you just going there and just flowing and painting. I feel like that was what we went through today. We were struggling to play instead of just going out to play. And I think it affected us a lot. They saw it, they capitalized on it. And also, defensive wise, I felt like we were not the best. Yeah, not necessarily. We didn't so much. I would say we didn't necessarily have so much errors here and there defensively. But you look at some errors from Sanchez trying to make some passes, kicking the ball. Like, when he's trying to trap the ball, he's just releasing the ball and allowing it to become a 50-50 between him and Gyökeres or anybody that is up front there. You look at the way we handle our area duels. There was no command in the back line. There were a whole lot of things that I do not like in the back line. So guys, but in the second half, we came into the game. We were trying to like catch up again. We had possession of the ball, but we're not doing anything with it. Our passes were sloppy. Coming into the second half, I felt like we were already growing into the game. We were becoming confident until that goal showed up again, and then we just went down again. We started coming back into the game, and the red card showed up, and then we just lost that level of, when you are playing against a team who is defensively all right, and you now lose an extra man. It's just more like they are going to, if they are pressing you man for man, they still have a spear man. So that's just the reality of what it is. And then we struggled, tried to get another goal, but it turned out it was an offside. But I'm not satisfied with it, because given what it is now, given what we are going to face, this is not the results that this is not it. This is just not it. But let's go into the 5 things, and it's not even just going to be 5 things. Let's just discuss. Let's talk about this match. I think we want to talk about the defensive part of the game. Something why I said earlier that we had some defensive error is what I actually mean by that is sometimes I don't like the way Chelsea defend in the sense that we are accumulating so much of those profile into the club, in the sense that you have somebody like Saliba, you have somebody like Mamadou Sarr, you have somebody like Tosin, who again, Badiashile. These guys are kind of like the same kind of profile when it comes to defending, in the sense that they get a ball, or a ball comes to the striker that they are trying to mark. They prefer to just rest their body on the striker and just make sure he holds up the ball and drop a pass. I feel like that thing makes no sense. When a striker gets the ball, you want to make him uncomfortable as much as possible, that instead of him finding somebody he can give, he does not have a choice than to retreat. Like, he moves back with the ball and just keep going back. But I've seen it times without number. In this match, most especially, Mamadou Sarr, Saliba did it. Mamadou Sarr's zone is when the ball comes to either Gyökeres or anybody that is getting the ball, he just makes sure his body is touching that player and he's doing nothing more. You have somebody like Fofana, like Kowi, they are still trying to push their leg. They are still trying to push you saw what Gabriel was doing to João Pedro. That's exactly what a defender should be doing when the striker is turning your back, you have to make him uncomfortable as much as possible. But with our own guy, they are just, oh, in as much as you are not facing my goal, oh, you are fine, you just stay there. They will throw passes for somebody that is going. They will use it to hold you up, allow their guys come front and drop the pass, make them uncomfortable. And for Chalobah, you see Chalobah, his own is even, I feel like I don't like it in the first instance. We got a whole lot of times where the ball is coming to, what's it called? The ball is coming to Gyökeres, whether in area ball or it's just on the ground here. Gyökeres gets to the ball and Chalobah is like, you can see it in the way, you can sense his demeanor in the sense that he wants him to get to the ball. He's just giving him a space to shadow mark him. Why the fuck you giving him a space to shadow mark? Like, go into this guy and make sure he's not comfortable and push him back to his own half. But he gets the ball, you are giving him a space. That's like holding up. That's like inviting the press. That's like inviting the attack. So I expected so much from our defense. So you see, sometimes you think, oh, a defender needs to make mistake and it's leading to go before you have defensive errors. No, like this kind of things are defensive error. Him getting the ball in that instance where you are trying to shadow mark, you are giving other players the chance to go into position, to go into space and allow Gyökeres make passes. And we saw it times with our number. Whenever he gets the ball, it's easier for him to just hold up, get the ball, look for somebody that is moving or allow Arsenal players come front and then he drop a pass and they are in possession. They have dominated territory. In all honesty, we need to go out and get to defender, top level defenders, break the bank, bring somebody in, bring somebody in who is a leader, not that profile. And I think we are suffering from that a lot. And secondly, let's talk about the corner kick issue. It's high time we start telling ourselves the truth, yeah, that you cannot be suffering from corner kicks this much or set piece in general this much. You just cannot. This is going to make it 15 in the Premier League. I think 15 Premier League goals considered from corner, from set plays rather, whether direct or indirect. It makes no goddamn sense. It makes no sense. And we can put this in different lights in the sense that you look at Chelsea's recruitment of defense and you will see we are prioritizing technicality over some physical abilities, over the ability like area duels. Look at everybody in the back line that you have for Chelsea against Arsenal today. You cannot boast of one person who is comfortable aerially. You cannot, who you can say, okay, let's match this guy 1-for-1 against every Arsenal player who is in the box. And you will say, oh, this guy beats this Arsenal player aerially. None. So you look at it and you're like, no, you can't put it on the player. You need to look at the recruitment. Why the fuck you getting defenders that can't defend the ball aerially? It makes no sense. Yeah. And we need to do something about it. We got a set piece coach and he's doing a very good job. Is he doing a very good job? No, I don't think so. I think he's doing a very good job offensively because we are scoring corners too. But defensively, we are suffering from it. We are getting worse day by day when it comes to set piece. When it comes to corners, when it comes to free kick, when it comes to crosses, anything that is just going aerially into our box, we are suffering from it. And you know, before we are tackling this thing in the sense that now we put in physical guys to hold against these other guys and make sure that they are not impeding the freedom of our keeper. But now our keeper is not getting the opportunity to get that freedom anymore. So he can't come out for claims. He can't come out to punch. He can't do all of those kind of things. Now the guys, what are they doing? You can't concede from set piece twice and you think it's not an issue to address. It definitely is an issue to address. And also, let's talk about the left-hand side of the pitch. I think that combination from Ato and Enzo Fernandez did not work the way we wanted it to do. Defensively, I think we managed it. It was good for us, but offensively, it did not work. So it kept us in a very dark place because Palmer was always going to drift into the central space. Sorry about that. So Palmer was always going to drift into the central space. Pedro Neto was going to play on the left-hand side. He was going to make sure, okay, he's holding that width there. But Ato I think offensively, he didn't give us much and it cost us a lot because Enzo Fernandez could not go ahead. When he's holding that weight, you want to get some underlapping run from Enzo Fernandez or him getting the ball there and he's bouncing it with somebody that knows like this guy is also like if it's Cucurella that is there, you know, when Cucurella is holding the weight, Enzo Fernandez can have the ability to like operate very well because he knows when they lose the ball there, somebody can pounce back, get the ball, turn it to something. But with Ato, I think offensively, he adds into the number. His strength is more of those running into the space and just attracting somebody there. But when he gets the ball on that left-hand side, he's not necessarily doing anything with it. So he called like on that part, we didn't have I would say we didn't have the opportunity to play more on that part. So we were just like stereotyped to play on the Pedro Neto side. So you have somebody like Timber having too much of freedom because there is nothing going on there. So you can be the extra man who just keep roaming around on the pitch. So I feel like that part did not work so well. It did not work so well. And the red card, is high time. This is I've lost count of the red cards we have collected or we have received in this season alone in the Premier League. And you are looking at this red card issue. It's a very big problem. It's a very, very big problem. We suffered from these defensive issues in this particular match because of the red card that Fofana got. And I think you look at that particular red card and you look at this particular red card and you can see similarities. You just can see similarities. It's just all a sense of these guys cannot even control their own self. And you know, it gets to a point where you start feeling like they are trying to do something. But at the same time, you have to stay in the awareness and the consciousness of, I'm not in the right position to be doing this thing. So the best thing I felt for Pedro Neto in that place was just slow down the whole thing. We play football too. The best thing to do in that place is cover your house and make sure you pursue him out. He's on the run, but he's slowing down. Now you have seen that he's slowing down. The best thing for you to do is cover your house, take your house away from him and try to push him back. But you were trying to run on the same line. Like is because I felt like he is so much dependent on his own ability. Like, okay, I can run. You can run. Now put it, let's see. I feel like that was what was on his mind. And if he was thinking really right, that should not be what should be on his mind. What should be on his mind is, how can I delay this attack so that everybody can come back? And I feel like he didn't think it well. And you saw it with Fofana also, like in that last match where you are on a yellow card. We lost the ball and then it got to James Ward-Prowse. And we know like it was the normal thing for you to counter press. But you have to stay in that awareness. Now I'm on a yellow card. I can't do this. Jump into the tackle, but do it in a way where delay is the mindset, not ultimately doing all it takes to get the ball. Sometimes we overdo it, and that's what happened with Neto. He just wanted to get the ball back. And I felt like he cost us, yes, because you look at it, we still had a foot in that game. We could still make something out of that game. In the second half, yeah, we were getting more of the ball. We were not really creating so much like that, but we were getting the ball. And you know, when you're having the ball like that, you'll be pushing them into their own back. You are telling them that I am dominant here. You can do something out of it. But as that ball went down, they took charge back. They took control of the ball and we couldn't press. We couldn't do anything because we were always a man short. Yeah, because we were always a man short. And what else again? I think Kopama is a decent game. I'll leave that to you to decide if it's a decent game. I feel like he wasted some chances. I feel like that was not the best of game that he could have. I know he's not playing at the highest level of fitness that he should be playing. He's trying for us. We appreciate that so much. He's putting all. He wants to be fit. You can see it. He wants to be fit. But I think he's losing passes these days. He's trying to make a pass and he's making the wrong pass. They are giving him passes and it's like those 1 minute of switch off, he's losing it. We're getting tired. I think we need to take it away from Kopama and we need to put it general. I think we are getting tired. We are beginning to lose our legs. We are beginning to lose our head. Yeah, we are beginning to lose those two things. And when you lose those two things, people watch you. People watch you. They watch you badly, and you will not be able to recover from it. And from now on, I think the race is getting tighter. The race is getting tougher. It's not getting. I think if you look at the Premier League, I think we have the hardest last run of games, whether 10 or 11. I think we have the hardest one. Like, you look at the level of teams, maybe like 4 other teams we want to play that are still in the top 6. You look at the Champions League fixtures, we are still in the FA. Is in the FA Cup. Yeah, we are still in the FA Cup. We are still congested, and you're looking at the amount of injuries and the red card that we are having. You just know, like, we just have to get our mind straight. We have to get our brain right intact. We have to make sure that we are focused. We have to make sure that we are in the right shape of mind. How do we get in the right shape of mind? Throw all of these losses like they never occurred and go for the win. And that's one thing that I saw that Arsenal had over us in this match. They were disciplined and they wanted it more. We didn't give that vibe like we wanted it. We didn't give that vibe like we want it so bad. We didn't give it like we're watching the ball. We want to win, or do we want to win? We want to win, but you can't see it in exhibition. You can't see it like how bad. Like, if you ask them, how bad do you want this thing? I don't think they really want it that bad. They just wanted to survive that match. And I think that's a mindset we need to discard. We need to throw it to one side. Top 4 is not sure anymore. It's not sure anymore. The only way to get into the Champions League next season, if we can get so far in the Champions League, or make sure English team gets so far in the Champions League. And how much of possibility is that, looking at the left-hand side of the fixture in the Premier League? So in the Champions League, look at how tough that place is. So the only part is find a way to grind out result and get into top 4 by yourself. Is this team going to do it? I don't know, but I think we have what it takes to get into top 4. So I'll just stop here. I'm disappointed. I feel like we can get something out of this particular match, but we let it slip. So guys, these are my thoughts about this match. I don't know what are the things that you see. Please put it in the comment section. This is brought to you by Vertical Football. Till we see you some other time. Namaste.